All right, Rocket football fans, it's Eastbound and Down. That's the theme song, I guess, now for this game this week at Campbellsville. Of course, they blared that after we won against Bethlehem, and it's an old Smokey and the Bandit song, and it's been pretty fun, I think, getting everybody excited about this road trip.
Yeah, I keep seeing Eastbound and Down all over the place, but I didn't hear the song after the game. I still haven't heard it. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to go check it out because it seems cool with the pictures that everybody's putting with. And, I like to be into the cool stuff, too, even if it is old school.
You may be a little bit too young to remember Smokey and the Bandit.
Too young.
Of course, there is a tie. Burt Reynolds and your grandfather were roomies at one time when they played high school football in the state.
But I still know nothing about that song.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice little theme song this week, and I noticed they're using the Quest for the rest. So, man, there's a lot going on. Everybody's excited about going to Campbellsville. Yeah,
I like to see the excitement because all this stuff that you see pop up on social media has nothing to do with us, So it does in the sense that it's about us, but as we're not doing it. So just to see the excitement that other people have, that you're not asking them to do this, they're just supporting you every week, and it's big for the boys, You see the communities behind you, and it makes you want to play harder.
When you win 11 games, people get behind you. There's a lot of people on the wagon.
Yeah, we just stay with us through it all. The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the ins and outs, whatever. Just stay with us, please.
Well, of course, this has been an exciting football season, as we predicted, as we knew it would be. And, of course, Coach Thompson, your first year, Gaige Courtney, your first year as defensive coordinator. And what's left?
We finish. That was the ultimate goal. We finish. And we want to finish the right way. So we want to go out on top. And that's not necessarily saying we want to win every game. That's obviously what we want to do. But, we want the year to finish successful. So we want to go out and play like champions, whether it's win or lose. We want to make sure that people know that we were there.
Well, there are 8 teams left in the Class A playoffs in the state of Kentucky, and, man, it gets tough from now on. Not that it hadn't been tough already, but certainly it's tough now. What is this Campbellsville team going to bring?
They're an explosive team. They live on the big play. They got a couple guys that can take it the distance any snap or anytime they touch the ball, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. And they're a fast team. They play hard. Their roster's not as big as ours, but the kids that they put on the field play really hard and are good. We told the kids a week ago, going into the Bethlehem game, that from here on out, every team that can beat you, and it's no different this week. We have to come out and play and bring our best game, or else we'll be in a dogfight.
I know Coach Estes at Campbellsville is very proud of his football team, too. He felt like had it not been such a good year for Beechwood last year, they had a chance to go state championship a year ago. And he told me that he thinks the team's better. And we're going to have a little segment with him. We got him on just some audio interview, and we're going to play that here at the end of the show too. Also, we're going to have some players on at the end. But let's get into a little bit more and break this game down. Coach Courtney,
before you go, I want to say he should be excited and happy about his team in the year they had. They've done what we've done. Just they had a bye in the opening round, So you see all the excitement that we have about what we've done this year. They've done the same thing as far as going out and winning all their games but one. So they should be excited. And that's a big shout out, Crittenden County. We see you had a big year, and we respect that. But this week we have to go and we have to battle. So.
Yeah, of course, they are 10-1 coming in this game, while we're 11-1. And some people have asked me if they didn't play as many games. It's because of that bye week in the playoffs.
City.
Their only loss was to Casey County this year, and I think it was a 10-point loss. And Casey County is a 3A team, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs to Powell County, and Powell's already out of it too. So. It's going to be a tough game. Coach Courtney, what's going into this? Do you have anything you can share with us, what we can expect defensively?
Yeah, I think the number one thing this week, we just got to stop the explosive play. This team, like Coach Thompson said, they can go the distance anytime. They can make you look bad in a hurry. It doesn't take – they don't need a lot of space, and then here you look and they're gone. They can make the little plays into big ones real fast. And that's the number one thing. You think about this offense, that's what we got to stop. We got to make them grind it down the field a little bit and not give up the big one.
Well, the quarterback, Hash, he's comes in very heralded football player. You know, he had a broken hand last year when we played him, and he's better, obviously, a year later. And, you know, he's a pretty good player, and he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, they have good players all over the field, Chris. Quarterback's good. They have receivers all around. They're similar to us. I mean, you look at their schedule and you can break it down. It's very similar. The game they lost, the game we lost. You look at their personnel. They're, you know, across the board. There's no one bad out there. You know, and that's what we expect at this time of the year. You know, we expect to see good offenses. You know, like I said last week, those teams that are just one-dimensional and doesn't have, you know, this or that. You know, it's a complete football team, very complete offense.
Of course, they do have a lot of weapons, but the Pettigrew boy, describe what kind of player he is.
Pettigrew, he's a running back. He's a big downhill back. He has a lot of speed too, but he's more of explosive power downhill. And also, I think Corley, the receiver / running back, is also a very good weapon for him. And I think they play off each other very well. Corley will get going out wide and get the defenses, you know, out wide, worrying about getting outside. And before you know it, here's Pettigrew hitting it up the middle on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, much like we are, a lot of weapons, and you've got to be able to stop that. Coach Thompson, going into this football game, anything particular you're looking at to exploit offensively?
We just want to go and play our game. We want to get everybody involved and make sure everybody is in tune and we're running smoothly. We want to be able to move the ball if that's what it takes. We want to be able to hit the big play if that's what it takes. And that just comes to buying into the game plan and make sure you do your job every play. And, you know, it's practice this week's been a little different. They're not used to going out on the field and there being snow out there, but just to see their focus in that situation this week, we're sitting in a good place and feel good about where our guys' heads are at, you know, dealing with the situation that we're in as far as the weather. So, I mean, offensively, we just want to make sure that we make the play when it's time to make the play.
You mentioned weather, and of course on Wednesday, school was let out an hour early, and when you do that, school policy knocks out everything after school. How will that affect you?
It just depends on the kids and how they let it affect them. You know, we showed last week that we can be mentally tough. So this is another situation where it tries you and it's mental. It's, you know, and we've grown up. And so typically where you think that it affects them, I don't think this affects them. It's just a day of rest and recovery, and you really get focused in and in tune with the game plan on your own, and then come back and hopefully we can get some practice in on Thursday and you know, get ready for the game on Friday. But I don't think it affects us negatively at this point. I mean, if we had to play today, I feel like we can go play today.
Let's look at the rest of the slate for this week. Talk a little bit about last week's games. As you see, of course, we beat Bethlehem, and we'll go to Campbellsville. Campbellsville handled Russellville. It was a close game early, but then Campbellsville really poured them on in the second half and came out with a big victory over the Panthers, 52-13. What about that game, Coach?
The score was a little worse than I thought it would be, but you know, watching the film and seeing them compete, you know, Russellville came out and they go down and score on them, and then Campbellsville answers back and all that. But what I saw is more of what we saw on film with Russellville before we played them. Is Russellville making a lot of mistakes and not being able to sustain drives and being able to stop people consistently. So for me, you know, I don't think they saw the best Russellville, and that's okay because it's not relevant at this point. But I think that it shows that Campbellsville can go out and put up a lot of points because, you know, Russellville not having a good game, and then they had 4 touchdowns called back in the first half, I believe, all in the first half, and still to answer back and still put up 52 points. It just shows how explosive they can be.
Of course, Frankfort and Beechwood over there in the other district and the other region, and both of those guys put up big points last week. And there's some that think Frankfort may be able to play with Beechwood. Beechwood may not be quite as good as they have been in the past.
I don't know anything about Beechwood as far as how good they are this year compared to any other years. You know, there's a household name. It's like here in Mayfield, kind of. Right. You know, but I mean, at this point in the year, anybody can beat anybody. Yeah. That's why you're playing the games. You're this close to going and playing for the big one. Anybody can beat anybody. It's about which team comes out and responds to the environment that they're in. And I think at this point, anybody can do that.
Well, obviously, Campbellsville's a good football team, and we're going to go up there maybe a little bit healed up from where we've been in the past. Anything on the injury front? I know everybody keeps asking me about Tyler Boone.
Yeah,
he's the only one yet to get back other than Preston Thurman.
Yeah, everybody's back this week. We like we said, we was going to try to practice Tyler and just see where he's at, and you know we haven't had any setbacks, so we'll go and we'll travel. He'll travel. He'll bring his bag, and he'll be a game time decision. You know, hopefully he can play. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he brings a lot to our defense and our offense, just to our teams with his leadership, with the way he plays. You know, he doesn't have to say anything to be a leader, but the way he plays, you know, people follow. So, hopefully he'll be able to play this week.
Yeah. And a player like him, Coach Courtney, you really want him on your defense, don't you?
Yeah, he does a lot for us, not only making plays, but the energy he brings. The energy he brings like no other kid that I've ever coached. I mean, with him out there, it's just a completely different feeling of the whole defense that everyone else feeds off of.
I noticed last week, or the last 2 weeks that he's been out in the playoff games, he's been out there on the field, in the huddle, out on the field at the numbers when there's a timeout or anything. He's right there.
Yeah, he wants to play. You know, he's begging to get in there. You know, we're going down at halftime of the Bethlehem game, and he's asked Coach, "Gotta go suit up." You know, but big picture, it's about him and his health. So we want to just make sure that everything's all right. And as soon as he's ready, we're gonna give him the green light, let him go. But hopefully that's this week.
Hopefully. All right, Coach Thompson. What anything else we need to wrap up on this football game as we get ready to go to Campbellsville? I know it's going to be a 6 p.m. start. Yeah. It's a little early, so I assume you're going to load the bus and head out for that long trip.
Yeah, we're going to try to get out early and get ahead of the time, if that makes any sense at all. We don't want to get off a bus on a trip that long and go play. So we're going to try to leave out early and halfway through get us a little rest stop and stretch our legs out a little bit, maybe eat some food. But you know, once we get there, it's game time, and every man's got to do his job and come to play. You know, you're playing for your life, your football life, and seniors are playing to play another game, and you know the juniors are playing to not go into their senior year, and same all the way down. You know, so they got to make sure that they bring it this week.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a long trip, and it's kind of a homecoming, as we mentioned, for you, where you played college football at Campbellsville. Yeah. You know, we're excited about going to this game, and I know Campbellsville is just excited about hosting this year. They came down here last year, and they left the victors. This time we'd like to return the favor at Campbellsville, guys.
Definitely, that's the goal.
All right, well, thank you, guys. Now we're going to take a few minutes and talk to Coach Estes over at Campbellsville, and then you're going to hear from some of the Rocket Star football players. Well, we have with us Coach Dale Estes of the Campbellsville Eagles. Coach Estes, tell us about your football team, and you've had a great year.
Yes, sir, we have. Got a good group of young boys. You know, they play hard for us on practice hard, play hard every Friday night, and you know, we were just trying to start a tradition that we started last year around here. You know, and so you know, becoming you know, relevant in the state of Class A football, and our kids kind of built off of last year after winning that regional championship, and this year, you know, just have played hard each Friday night and come out, and you know, we've been on a good side of a lot of wins, and you know, we're proud of our team, and I'm really proud of our kids.
Well, it doesn't get any easier no matter who wins this round, does it?
No, sir, it don't. You know, I mean, you know, whether, you know, Crittenden County's a well-coached and got a bunch of great football players and great program, and, you know, you want to hope somebody like a Frankfurt or somebody like that on the other side, but, you know, looking down the road and you see that, you know, whoever wins this game, you know, you probably got Beechwood there looming. You know, they whipped us pretty good last year when they came down here, but, you know, it's like I tell my coaches and my fans and players, if we're playing them, we're doing something right, you know, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our program to their level, if you know what I mean, and, you know, see if we can, if we're fortunate enough to beat Crittenden County and see what we can stand up against them this year.
Well, I tell you, we certainly remember your quarterback, Aaron Hash, from last year. He had a great game, and then the Corley boy and Pettigrew. And you really got a lot of playmakers.
We do. That's one of the things around here that this year that we've been very fortunate to have and things, and stay away from injuries where our athletes have been able to play, most of the year. We've had some injuries and stuff this year where a few of them have been out, but other kids have stepped up through adversity and won. But, our quarterback, like you said, he's a sophomore, and to lead us to the, third regional championship in school history last year as a freshman with a broken hand. If you remember, he had a broken, had a cast on. Says a lot about him. And then you mentioned Corley, which I think arguably as a junior could be, if not the best, but top 3 best players in Class A football, as a junior. And then, you mentioned also Pettigrew, and Pettigrew had a great game down there last year against you guys, and had a great game last week against Russellville, and he's had a real solid season for us this year as well. We're pretty healthy right now. We're just like everybody else. We got some beat-ups and some banged-up and kids, but, just like you guys, if you play this game the way it's supposed to be played after 13 weeks, you ought to be beat up and sore a little bit. We got some little nagging injuries, but nothing that's going to keep anybody out this week. We'll be good to go with what we got, and hopefully same for Crittenden County.
What is it about Crittenden County that you feel like you have to take away from them to be successful?
They're a good football team. They're well coached. Their kids play hard. They got a lot of good players, and we know just like you guys know, they'll be hungry to come down here and do, last year what we did to them down there, and things of that nature. But Crittenden County is a well-balanced team. Number one to me is the difference maker this year between last year and this year. For us, we just feel like he's he just looks like a different type player. Now, I know he was a little hurt against us last year, and we didn't get to see the true number one in that game in the regional finals, which I hate, because number one to us this year looks like a man on a mission. He just looks like a very special football player and a very good football player. We got nothing but high respect for several people on that Crittenden County football team. You got a real nice football team, and we're expecting nothing than a nice battle up here Friday night. We know they're going to come in ready to play, and we'll be ready to play, and we're hoping it's just a good old-fashioned football game.
All right, Coach Estes, appreciate your time.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and I hope all y'all be safe and everything. And if you need anything else from us, we can help you down here. Y'all were great hosts to us last year, first class, and we'd like to return the favor to y'all this year. If y'all need anything, just let us know.
Now we're with Sean O'Leary, defensive end, senior. Sean, we have Mr. Six on offense, and I guess we're going to call you Mr. Sack now. These sacks records are falling with you on the end, and man, it's been exciting to watch you play, and especially that Union County game this year. You was all over the place. I know we don't want you to give away any team secrets this week, but what's the game plan? I know you want to get to that quarterback. He's a pretty good one.
They've got one good receiver, but Coach Courtney's been talking. They like to run a lot, so we're mainly looking to stop the run game, and then they like to do a lot of the little fake handoffs and little reverses and stuff like that. Just stop all those and make sure we get all that stopped, so they'll have to pass it and rely on that.
Tell me a little bit about your technique. What's your best move to get to the quarterback?
Either to spin or to stutter step off the front and go in and then go out, or go out and then come back in.
Where do you learn that? You watch NFL or college, or Coach Courtney taught you all that?
Coach Courtney taught me to stutter step. To spin, nobody really taught me. Just decided to do it one time. I've done it ever since.
Sometimes you got a bigger guy over there too, and what's your best move when you got a bigger offensive lineman over there going against?
Most of the time, the first thing that pops in my head when I see a bigger guy is he's bigger, so he's definitely going to be a lot slower. So I try to use my speed, and then I'll also do the stutter stepping before, go inside, go out, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, great season, and again, wonderful accomplishments individually. What's left for Sean O'Leary after high school? I know you've got some aspirations of playing in college.
Yeah, looking to go. I've been talking to some coaches and been talking to some other teams and stuff. I'm really looking forward to and wanting to go play college football.
Yeah,
for 4 years.
Yeah, well, good luck, and we've sure been excited to watch you play, and really excited to watch you play at Campbellsville this week, and looking for this team to get to the state semifinals the week after. Well, I'm excited to have Hunter Boone and Ethan Dossett here for the wrap-up of the Coaches Show this week. Of course, Hunter Boone is a quarterback. Ethan is a receiver, and maybe your favorite receiver. I don't know. We may talk about that. But I know you guys go way back since childhood, and very good friends on and off the football field. And, of course, Hunter has just rewritten all the record books for passing. for Crittenden County, and he's a 2-time District Player of the Year. Ethan is a 2-time all-conference first-team selection, and he's rewritten all of the pass receiving records. So pretty good combination right here. One that's going to obviously go down in the annals of Crittenden County football. Hunter Boone, tell me a little bit about, this team has accomplished so much. You've accomplished so much individually, but what's next for this team? What's the goal?
Just keep winning, going 1-0 each week. We got a really good chance to, go all the way, and I think we can.
What's it going to take to get there? We know what we've accomplished so far. We've had 11 wins in 12 games. Only setbacks, Caldwell County. Had a little hiccup last week maybe. That team played a little harder than we expected down the stretch. But what's it going to take now to go up to Campbellsville on the road and win?
Lots of focus. And lots of energy too. We need to be ready to play at any time.
Ethan Dossett, you, of course, so many personal accomplishments, but what's left for this football team?
We just got to go out there and believe, and if we believe, like you said, we can go 1-0 each week for 3 more weeks and come out with our main goal of state championship. So,
of course, that's the goal. What's it take individually for you, do you think? Do you have a goal when you go into a game like this saying, I need X number of yards?
I really just block everything out and go out there and run each route the best I can, try to block the best I can, and just do whatever I can to help the team out.
Mm-hmm. Of course, this week, with all this weather coming in, you missed practice on Wednesday because school closed early. They sent all the students home at 2 o'clock. So when they do that, school policy is all extracurricular activities are canceled the rest of the day. Is that going to affect you in your preparation?
No, we're prepared to go down there and play right now. We've been preparing since January when weightlifting started. So we're prepared to go down there and kick butt right now.
What did we miss this week, Ethan? I know on typically on a Wednesday, what would you do?
It's usually offensive practice. We'll run through our plays, go over a game plan, do a little bit of special teams in there, and really just come together as a team and run plays that we are planning on running this week. But like he said, we've been doing it since January. We're all familiar with the playbook, and we put in a few what we needed to offensively yesterday in preparation for missing school and missing practice. So I think as long as we can go out there and execute the way we know how to, we'll be fine.
So like a good coaching staff, they had you prepared in case you did miss some school, and you kind of expedited things early in the week and got on track and went through some things. And at this point of the season, is there of course you always add a new wrinkle, but is there anything new that, Hunter, that we've got to put in offensively to go play at Campbellsville?
No, just a couple of more reads that for me and the running back to go over, but other than that, it's just let's go out there and win.
I'm sure you've looked at a lot of film, Ethan, on Campbellsville. What do you see about their secondary? Without giving away any strategic secrets, does it look like they're going to man you up? What do you?
So far from what I've seen, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. They've got a lot of good athletes, and I think that's what they think they can do, and hopefully we can prove them wrong.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Hopefully the Rockets win this week. We're going in to hopefully win this football game as we anticipate. But beyond that, if the season were to end today, is there anything you look back on and regret? You have any regrets of the way things have gone?
Maybe beat Bethlehem at home.
Well, that was on the road.
Yeah,
it was at Bethlehem.
That was at Bethlehem. Yeah.
That's what you saw. Yeah, that was a terrible, terrible way to end that season. Yeah. And we've erased that now. We held them off this past week, and Bethlehem came in and played a good football game. What is left beyond high school for you two as far as on the football field? You guys looking to further your careers?
Yeah, hopefully. I've been talking to a few schools. Hopefully that'll work out, and I can go up there and get school paid for, but have fun doing it.
Yeah, Hunter, I know you took a visit recently too.
Yeah, just keeping the options open and see where it goes.
All right. Well, these two have been fun to watch, as are all of the Rockets, but these two in particular hooked up many, many times and have rewritten the Rocket record books as far as passing and receiving, and we appreciate them. It's been fun watching you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fun watching you. All right. Well, let's go up to Campbellsville. Let's get another victory and move on, probably to Beechwood, right?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.